When was the last time you took a leap of faith, trusting that everything is going to work out? Do you crave growth, or are you merely content with the status quo? If you want more out of your life, out of your career, and out of your relationships, you are in the right place. Take the leap and discover how to create a life by design rather than living it by default. Real success starts with you. Now here's your host, Colleen Biggs.
Hello, listeners, and welcome back to another episode of Take the Leap. As always, I am your host, Colleen Biggs. And you know, on this podcast, we are bringing in experts week after week to talk to you about how you can design your life the way that you want it to be. You know, we don't have to live our lives by default. And in our last episode that we had, I believe it was episode, 186 it was that we had. We talked about how we needed to focus on our inner world versus trying to change our outer world first. We need to focus on our inner world. Well, we're going to continue that conversation today as we talk about our soul languages and how does your soul speak to you? When we talked about going within, listening, trusting, we have Jennifer Urezzi with us today, and she's going to help us understand a little bit more about that because she has trained thousands of healers and across the nation, probably across the world. I'm going to find out from her on really connecting to their soul languages and understanding that. But before we get to Jennifer, I do want to thank a sponsor of today's show, Paige Morlino Real Estate. And choosing excellence in real estate with Paige Morlino, she's a seasoned 8-year Arizona realtor of Realty One, and she's grounded in core values of honesty, transparent communication, meticulous detail, and unwavering commitment. She brings true value to every home journey, and as full-time and full-service agent with a vast network, Paige leverages diverse avenues and masterful marketing, ensuring each property and client receives the attention they deserve for a successful and rewarding real estate experience. So elevate your real estate venture with Paige today. This is what I love. She's dropped a link where you can get your automatic home value. All you do is click on it, enter in your information, and you will understand the value of your home. And I hear the market's changing. I'm so excited because that means interest rates are coming down. We can start buying our investment houses again. So I'm excited about that. Well, Jennifer, we're excited to have you here with us today. She's a prominent figure in the field of personal development and spiritual growth. As a gifted intuitive healer, she's devoted her life to helping others discover their unique soul languages and embrace their true essence. Jennifer's journey began with her own pursuit of self-discovery, which eventually led her to develop a revolutionary system known as soul language. Jennifer is also a master intuitive and author of 2 best-selling books. Currently, she's trained over 30 practitioners worldwide in soul language, and there are over 5,000 individuals all over the world connecting to their soul languages. Jennifer, welcome to today's episode.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored and excited to be here.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be so great. I really want to understand what you went through because, you know, you had began this journey of your own pursuit and self-discovery. What happened? We all go through this at some period of our life, but what was your story?
Yeah, I was in marketing and PR and I was really angry. I wasn't allowed to talk to clients because I would tell them the truth. And they thought I was being aggressive. I wasn't. I mean, my tone was off, but and so my best friend and who owned the company said, my intuitive coach says you should talk to blah, blah, blah. And I talked to blah, 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 and I signed up for like a 6-week program. And I was totally different from the moment I talked to her to the last session. And I went back to work and I answered the phone and I transferred it over to my best friend and I heard her go, yeah, no, that's Jennifer. Yeah, no, that's Jennifer. I sounded totally different. Like I was just so more of my essential nature that my voice had changed.
Oh.
So that was like the big hurdle. And then from there, I started studying with master intuitives and master psychics about really understanding my gifts and talents.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was doing a talk about essential oils and life purpose, and I came down off the stage. People were like, "Can you tell me about my guides and teachers?" I was like, "Uh-huh." "Can you tell me about this?" I was like, "Yep." And I walked away with clients, which was really cool.
Yeah.
And I also walked away with the beginning downloading or channeling this thing called soul language. And so it sounds like a very straight line, but it wasn't. It was a lot of curves and bumps and, you know, maybe I hit a squirrel or two along my path.
Yeah. So, okay. So you went from knowing that you needed something different, some change in your life, started with working with a healer in the 6 week course, and then you became a different person because you embraced a different version of yourself, and
Yeah.
who you wanted to be. Now, did you stay in that job for a while because your perspective changed about it, because you had changed and you realized like my outer world is really a reflection of my inner world and I need to change that first?
It was a really good paying education. So I
Yeah.
stayed in it for about another year and a half. And then I realized like the delivery system was off for me. I
Yeah.
was coaching a internationally known coach. I spent 2 hours counseling her about her relationship with her daughter. And when I got off the phone, my boss and my best friend went, "Did you?" I was like, "Yeah, and that's gonna end really badly." And she fired us a month later saying that I didn't understand her business. I did, I saw beyond the curtain, and she didn't like it, and so I thought this was gonna keep happening. So I went freelance in 2007, and by 2008, I was no longer doing any marketing or PR, and I was running my own company.
Nice. Okay, great. So you've been running your own company since 2008?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, amazing. Well, let's talk about soul languages. Is that what you learned during that time that changed
No,
you?
that's what I downloaded. I actually created that tool for
Yeah.
myself and others. And what it does, it puts words to our essential nature so we can actually create a more conscious connection and then actually utilize our essential nature and our soul to powerfully instead of operating from pain and programming. So we each have three core energies of soul. We call these languages. You have a
Okay.
language in three different categories: your mission, how you feel that mission, and then your soulful personality. So I can give a one-liner to every soul on this planet and every business soul because we can identify that energy as well. And that becomes your mild marker of consciousness. If you're not being and doing that, you're creating struggle. So my mild marker of consciousness is I create balance for myself and others through love, integrity, and courage. So if I'm not being and doing that, I'm creating havoc and struggle in my life.
Okay. And so for someone to discover this, what is the work that they need to do to, or what would you say they've got havoc in their life? They've got things that feel misaligned. Things aren't feeling like they're in flow. Would that be correct?
Yeah, I mean, especially highly intuitive, highly innovative,
Mhm.
pioneering energy. They're like, I know that there's something bigger. I feel like I'm hitting that kind of internal glass ceiling. And I'm really great with working with my clients, but
Yeah.
my life is like, I want more. Like I'm just squeaking by, or I know that there's something bigger and I can't reach it. That's when you turn towards me. We identified the soul languages through a process called therapeutic kinesiology, which means muscle testing. So my body
Mhm.
becomes the pendulum on that soul's behalf. It's not a quiz, it's not done by your birth date or the letters in your name. So it's really your soul guiding me down a testing sheet. And that way we can't throw the test. We can't say, oh, I wish I was this, but I'm really that. And
Yeah.
it's a starting off point. It allows the definition allows you to understand that essential nature, but the key here is the structure is guided so you actually go within. So you start asking those questions, so you
Mhm.
start trusting yourself. So you start taking action from a deep place of knowing versus doing it with your mind.
I love that. I know that I
Yeah,
go to Reiki because of that. Because they're able to muscle test and really, the issues they always say are in the tissues, right? They know your body can tell what it is that's
right.
where it's trapped, what it's holding on to, what changes it needs. And I think that's so important that we get in tune with what that is. So, so when Tell me about your books, the 2 books that you have available. Do they go deeper into this subject for someone to learn more about it? I'd love to hear more about those.
Yeah, so Soul Language Consciously Connecting with Your Soul for Success is a 500 textbook kind of book. It goes through a deeper of what the categories are,
Oh,
what
I
the
love that.
unconscious, what the conscious is, and then it shares with you the 107 core energies of soul across those 3 different categories. So it really is a huge textbook. And how people also use it is they use it as a deviation tool, like, what should I know today? And they just open up the book and they read, and that also helps people connect to themselves in a deeper way. The second
Mhm.
book, A Little Book of Prayers, is just that. It's a little book of prayers. It's 20 prayers that I used to write, I still do. I write prayers for my clients, and they kept saying, "Let me tell you everything that happened since you wrote this prayer." And I was sitting on a beach with my friend Regina, and she's like, "When are you writing that book of prayers?" And I went, "Oh, I guess I don't have to write a book of prayers. I heard that, the divine speak through you." And so it's, 20 prayers that go across categories that people really care about: money, relationships,
Yeah,
connection, heartbreak, health. So people can really have a place to turn to when they
yeah.
want to shift their energy and create something better from a more powerful place.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. So, w- I know they're available on Amazon, right? So
Yes.
we can drop those links, and or maybe they can grab them on your website as well. So that would be available for them to get those.
Yes.
And that's at no soul language dot net.
Soullanguage.us. If you go to No
Yeah,
Soul Slang, it will flip you over, but
yeah.
soullanguage.us is the easiest kind of direct link.
Okay, great. Share with us a story of someone that you worked with that maybe they were skeptical at first, they met you, they talked with you, they're really not sure of, trying to understand that soul language. I've heard a lot about our soul and the different types of language it speaks to us, where our soul's been, kind of that whole journey. What if someone's unsure and they really don't understand it? But
Well,
what's a
I
good
I
first step?
really recommend everyone to do a discovery session, which is my gift, where we ID
Yeah.
one of their soul languages. I hear the same thing. Oh my God, are you in my head? Oh my God, you put words to what I know deep down inside. One person called me like liquid nitrogen, right? Really removing things very quickly.
Yeah.
I think that we really truly do know all the answers internally. It's about giving voice to them. So soul
Yeah.
language gives you the forum to do that. And I mean, just today, someone said, "Whoa, that was so profound. I didn't really know what I was like what this was all about. But once you started speaking
Yeah.
about what my language was, she's like, I started really resonating. Like, I get that. And I get to see where, my off ramping is versus really utilizing that energy consciously." So I
Mm.
think the best thing is to kind of experience it so you can see if this is for you or not. You don't have to have any background in using your intuition. You don't have to have any special skills. You just show up and be yourself, and let's have a conversation. I think that's key.
Yeah. And so do you teach your clients how to use themselves as a pendulum to really get their answers that they need for what they need to do? How is that? How are they able to use those tools individually, uniquely,
Yeah.
away from you once they're taught?
Yeah, so we teach them how to consciously connect to their soul and ask questions and really kind of understand how they're getting that information, which is key.
Yeah.
I can teach people how to muscle test for themselves, right? There's a skill and there's an art to muscle testing, so that's not a
Yeah.
problem. I also teach people how to get a full body yes response. If you're not getting a full body yes, it's a no. So it's a really good tool to kind of ask where, to receive guidance and ask directions for yes or no questions.
Mm.
So we really, it's the starting point. So I want people to
Yeah.
walk away being able to use these as tangibility. I have warrior energy, so if I can't implement it in my everyday life, I think
Mhm.
what's the point?
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree to you. What would be the point if you're not, implementing it into your everyday life and utilizing it? And I love the education around it because
Yeah,
once you learn and you know it, then it becomes another tool in your toolbox. And what I have found for that is really about making it easier to
yeah,
do business, making it easier to make decisions, trusting yourself more. And it kind of takes away that abrasive need to always try to figure things out and
yeah.
be the one that's like, I don't know what to do. I'm so confused. It kind of helps break down that confusion, right?
Yeah. Yeah, if you continually do your life by jury by like asking this person and asking this person and asking that, you're going to be confused,
Yeah.
right? You need a process where it's clear about your next step. And you also need a process to understand what's in the way of that
Yeah.
clarity. And talking to your soul is the easiest, simplest way to do that. You just need a structure and you need to practice that structure, right?
Yeah.
I think so often people are afraid about what their soul is going to say. It's never going to say you suck. It's always going to give you information that is in your best interest and that resonates with you. You might, excuse me, I have the hiccups. You might be in resistance about it, but you will
Mhm.
resonate with it. And it's just a matter of setting up that practice, whether it's 1 minute each morning or an hour. Start small and build your way up.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. Well,
Thank you.
I want the listeners to know like where they can reach you, where they can find you. Obviously, we'll have book links. So, where's the best place? Do you want them to connect with you? Do you use Facebook the most, or Instagram, or Twitter?
Yeah, I
I guess
use
it's called
Facebook.
X.
The X. No, I refuse to call it X. Uh, yes, Facebook is the best place. I'm under my
Yeah.
name. I also have a Facebook group called Spiritual Renegades. There's over 600 people there really operating from soul. And you
Mm,
can like hear some of my words of wisdom. You can receive inspiration, keep up to date, meet those members of that group. We do a monthly virtual networking thing every month.
yeah.
So that's really fun. I am Jennifer Urzio on almost all of the social media except for Instagram, where I'm Soul Language founder. And then the website, I also do a newsletter. So soullanguage.us is also great.
Oh, wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for that information. So, all of you out there that are wondering, like, this just sounds so cool, and I really want to understand more about how I can connect to get the answers for myself to have that kind of surety that you feel like it's aligning with what it is that you're doing. I do think it's a practice, and we need to learn how to do that. Jennifer's a great conversation to have for
Okay.
that. So, please reach out to her and connect with her, whether it's on LinkedIn or Instagram or Facebook or whatever your favorite. Slide into her DMs, and she'll offer you a complimentary call so you can have that conversation. I think it's very important, no matter who you are, what position you're in corporate America, whether you're an entrepreneur, that you have that conversation to better understand you, and better understand how you can guide your decisions that you're making in your life. Jennifer, I love it so much.
Thank
I
you.
know that, for everyone out there, I want to just share the message that I share week after week after week. You're the only you that's ever been, and you're the only you that's ever going to be. Why not know yourself thoroughly? Why not trust yourself thoroughly? Why not understand what your soul is really telling you and what's inside? I think it's so important for us to know every bit about us. And why would we want to go through life and die not really knowing who we really were in the end? And this is really exciting to me, Jennifer. So
Thank you.
thanks for coming onto the show today and sharing all of your wisdom, and helping us really understand how our soul can speak to us and how we can hone in on that. It's very, very exciting.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's been an honor. And anyone has any questions, don't hesitate to reach out.
I love that, Jennifer. Well, thank you all so much for joining us today. Another great episode here on Take the Leap. And don't forget, until next time, be you and be strong. Bye bye for now.
We hope you enjoyed our show today, as our guests shared their secrets on designing their life by taking the necessary leaps to expand their influence and attract the right people and clients into their lives. To start these easy steps for yourself, be sure to visit www.colleenbiggs.net/freebies to download the 7 ways to increase your exposure today.